When emergencies strike, people rely on 911 dispatchers as their lifeline. These dedicated professionals are the first point of contact during crises. However, people have faltered in some cases, leading to tragic endings. In this video, we will watch stories in which 911 operators failed to do their jobs, resulting in horrific consequences. Leon Lee Price. In Pennsylvania, a 911 operator named Leon Lee Price faced serious charges, including involuntary manslaughter, reckless endangerment, official oppression, and obstruction. The charges were linked to a distressing incident that occurred in July 2020 when Price hesitated to send an ambulance to the rural residence of Diana Kronk, even though her daughter, Kelly Tichenal, urgently pleaded for medical assistance, stating that her mother would die without it. Tragically, Diana Kronk passed away a day later due to internal bleeding. Kelly Tichenal firmly believes that her mother could have been saved if the ambulance had been dispatched promptly. During the critical 911 call, Price repeatedly questioned Tichenal about her mother's willingness to go to the hospital for treatment. Despite Tichenal's assurance, he sought further confirmation, causing unnecessary delays. Eventually, he agreed to send the ambulance, but asked Tichenal to call back once she had ensured her mother's cooperation. The incident sparked widespread outrage. It raised a lot of concerns about the inappropriate handling of emergency calls by 911 operators. Greene County District Attorney Dave Russo investigated whether there were any policies or training that allowed 911 dispatchers to deny services to callers. He emphasized that everyone deserves equal protection and access to medical services and was deeply concerned about community safety. Kelly Tichenal filed a lawsuit against Leon Price, Greene County, and two 911 supervisors, accusing Price of a callous refusal of public emergency medical services on behalf of her mother's estate. The county and supervisors plan to defend the lawsuit, stating they do not believe they are liable for Kronk's death, though there are ongoing personnel matters related to Price. Jason Peck. Tracy Hightower went through unimaginable pain after her daughter, Stacy Hightower, was tragically stabbed at an apartment in Detroit on Mother's Day. The haunting memory of that day still lingers for her, which was made worse by the fact that it took a dispatcher 90 minutes to send officers to the scene. The accused is a 40-year-old man named Jason Peck, who was charged with first-degree murder in her daughter's case. The delay in officers' arrival at the crime scene is just one of the issues involving Detroit police dispatchers that have come to light. This prompted Chief James Craig to announce a shakeup in the department's communications unit to address these concerns. That's not all. In another troubling incident involving another Detroit police dispatcher, Jobrina Hood's shooting is under review, and charges are inevitable. Jobrina's mother, Betty Hood, revealed that her daughter had called 911 multiple times to prevent an argument from escalating, but the police response came only after she was shot. These distressing incidents have raised some serious questions. How effective and responsive is the dispatch system? Donna Renault. Deborah Stevens, who was 47 years old, lost her life during a flash flood in Fort Smith, Arkansas. When she called 911 for help while stuck in her car, the person who answered, Donna Renault, was rude and didn't show much understanding. In the recording of the call, Renault repeatedly told Stevens to calm down and insisted she wouldn't die, even though the situation was serious. Stevens worried about her phone running out of battery, which would cut off communications with the responders searching for her car in the flood. But Renault didn't care and asked if her new phone was more important than her life. Stevens feared her car might explode from smoke, but Renault responded coldly saying, "How? You're underwater." Throughout the call, Stevens apologized many times, concerned about being rude, but Renault wasn't compassionate and criticized her for driving into the water without seeing it coming. The release of the audio recording has caused a lot of anger among Facebook users. Many people expressed their outrage on the police department's page, especially towards Donna Renault, who was awarded Fire Dispatcher of the Year in February. The timeline of events provided by the police department shows that Stevens called 911 at 4:38 a.m. and first responders were dispatched at 4:41 a.m. It took about 10 minutes for the first crews to arrive, but they had difficulty finding Stevens due to the high water. It took another hour for the rescuers to reach Stevens' car using life vests and ropes. Sadly, Deborah Stevens had already drowned by the time they got to her. To know more about what happens inside a courtroom, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon. Goodbye.